I am here today interviewing Miss Brenda. Brenda, what is your Model X's name?
Her name is Miss Exciting, MS Exciting.
That's an awesome name.
I think so too.
How did you come to buy a Tesla?
Well, my original car, my last car died. It died on me twice, and I had to buy something because, I no longer trusted it. So both of my sons, who are adults, said, you got to get a Tesla. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. And they're like, yeah, Mom, this is what you do. And then they told me all the safety features of it and why they wanted their mother in a very safe car. So my son ordered it. And I did get on the internet and pick out the options. Told him I wanted it black. And I wanted the inside, the light color. So he ordered it. And that's how I got it.
What was the learning curve like, and how did you adapt to the new technology?
Okay, so I live in Clarksville. We bought this car in Franklin. My son drove me down there, and when we got there and purchased the car, I'm like, I'm not driving it home. You got to drive it. So he drove it back. And on the way back, he told me about, several features of the car. I was kind of familiar because he had two Model S's, and I had driven in them, or rode in those. So I was kind of familiar with it, but I was totally terrified of this car. Terrified. And on the way home, he's explaining this and explaining that, and he set everything up for me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do this. I didn't even think I could see the big screen, because of my age. So the car sat for like 3 days, and I drove other cars that we had. So what he did was he went up to Chicago and got my 15-year-old granddaughter and brought her down here, and she stayed with me 4 days. Now, she had already been in her dad's S, so she knew all about it. So we chilled out for 4 days, and she would answer all of my questions. She was very, very patient. She showed me things. So every day we had a goal as to what we were going to do. So the last day, I was beginning to feel more comfortable. She's 15. She's got a learner's permit. I said, okay, it's your turn. You drive it. She's like, really, Grandma? I'm like, yeah, you drive it. So later that evening, we told her dad, we were with her dad, and I said, well, your daughter drove the car. And her dad looked at her, and he was getting kind of like, you drove Grandma's car. And I'm like, yeah, she did okay. She did fine. So that's how, but had it not been for her, I would have been really, really terrified of it. Because the manual's there, but who wants to sit around and read a 270 some odd page manual? Particularly when you can have somebody explain it to you.
So about a week learning curve.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes. 3 days sitting, 4 days actually getting it.
Right. 4 days.
Doing it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's more intimidating than anything, but it's not bad once you actually get in and start doing it, and you have somebody to answer questions.
This is a vehicle that has 600 or 700 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
It has two motors. It will go 0 to 60 in way faster than you'd want it to, and you are now very comfortable driving this car.
Absolutely. Yes. Now I haven't driven it at top speed. But every once in a while, somebody will pull up beside me, and they're kind of looking. And I'm like, I'm not going to race you, but I know if I wanted to, I can.
Yeah, that's the Tesla effect, right?
Yes.
Right.
I get a lot of stares, get a lot of looks, a lot of stares. That's okay. I don't care.
What is your favorite feature, Brenda?
I like it all. I just think it's very pretty. I think it's very classy. I love the quietness, the smoothness of it. I was telling a girlfriend, my cars throughout the years are getting more and more exotic. They're getting more luxurious. They're just, it's fantastic.
Why should someone consider going electric?
safety, the way the whole Tesla is built, and then have you seen the price of gas?
It has been going up.
You know, and then the whole environmental thing. We charge here at the house, so um, you know that's been a minimal cost. We have used the supercharger miles, but I mean, I think long term, this is the way to go.
I agree. What's the longest trip you have taken in this car?
We took 2 trips from here to Atlanta, and that was interesting because, you know, our first road trip we didn't know. But again, you get on there and the map shows you where the stops are, and the stops, for the most part, are all pretty cool places. You know, like Dunkin' Donuts, restaurants, shopping malls. You know, so you don't even really notice, um, you know, that you're stopping, and you know that you have to stop because it's pleasant. My husband is one of these kind of people that will drive and he will not stop. So that's all of that's gone with that because, you know, hey buddy, we gotta stop
How often do you get questions about electric vehicles?
all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, the other day I was at the mall and some lady came running and she wanted to talk to me. I was just sitting in the parking lot and she wanted to talk to me about my car. I've had to stop so kids can see it. I've had to make it do the dance so kids can see it because they've heard it but they want to see it. But yeah, I get questions all the time. Most common question is how long does it take it to charge? How long can you drive it before you have to charge it? There's a fair amount of fear, range anxiety, but you know I try to alleviate those concerns because it's not been an issue for me. And I think if you plan, I mean, it's just like gas. If you drive and drive and drive and drive and don't stop, yeah, you're gonna have problems. But if you plan your trip, you'll do fine.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Do you think you will buy for your next vehicle another electric vehicle?
My husband just told me this morning he wants an X. So um, yeah, his vehicle is probably 2 more years. But I'm sure the next one will be another, probably another Tesla,
Right.
probably an X.
What's your response when people ask how long does it take to charge?
Well, I tell them typically I just basically, for the most part, do errands. So I'm generally done with a couple, 3 hours at night.
Yeah.
If the trip that we took, 2 trips that we took, we were done in 30 minutes at the most, 30, 40 minutes at the super station. And then by the time you get something to eat, go to the restroom, whatever, you're ready to go.
So it's not a major concern really once you're in the habit of driving a Tesla. You don't really think about how long it takes to charge. It's not necessarily a major concern. If you need to charge it, you can in just a couple dozen minutes.
I love her. Can I talk about financing?
Please do.
Because this is a very expensive car.
Yeah.
And I'm retired, so the question is, how do you pay for this? Okay.
Tell us.
So again, my son, the oldest son, Mom, you need to invest in Tesla stock. So that's what I do. So you know, I have an IRA, a retirement, and I was going to pull a portion of it and pay for the whole thing. And he's like, "No, Mom, you don't do that. You just pay for it. Take out what you need. Take out a lump sum to pay for, you know, several months, and that way your money can start, you know, can keep growing." And then once I did that, I'm like, "Well, yeah, I can afford this as long as it keeps growing." So I watch the stock market and I watch Tesla stock. That's how, because it is very, very.
You use the stock of the company to pay for the vehicle.
Yes.
You are
Yes.
one of several people that I have met that does that. That is an excellent strategy.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. When did you first buy into the Tesla stock?
Actually, the crash a year ago.
Do you
When,
remember about what week it was?
yeah, it was about like the 16th, probably about this week. I had an IRA, and I was watching the news, and they kept talking about it was going down. I had company, so I couldn't really, do anything. But the numbers, 500 today, 700 down to this day, and then finally the company left. I didn't at the time didn't know what my password was, so I had to go look at the password, looked at how much money I lost, and thought, oh my God, I can't do this. I didn't realize that at the time that it would probably go up. So I just started buying stock. And I knew my son bought Tesla, so I bought a pretty good amount of Tesla. And it's been growing ever since, to the point where it's now quite impressive.
You have made multiples if you invested in March of 2020. That
Yes.
is one of the best possible times to have bought Tesla stock. And that is amazing.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes.
Most people were terrified during that time and were selling, but you were buying. Well
Yes.
done.
Well, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mind sharing that information, because it's amazing.
It is.
There would never be, I would never pay this much money for a car. Never. I had never driven a Tesla, even though I had ridden in my son's. I'd never driven one. So my sons were more or less talking about getting the Y. Well, I saw the X probably about half a block away. And I said, I want an X. Even though the price difference was considerable. Hey, I got this stock money, let's just go for it.
Amen. Amen. Miss Brenda, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure to speak with you. Is there anything you'd like to leave viewers with?
No, just check it out. If you're on the fence, really do some investigating. I don't think